Former LDS Bishop Bill Reel here. When I studied the early history of the church, one of the things that I came across was Lucy Mack Smith, the mother of the prophet Joseph Smith Jr. And in her book, she wrote a biography of her family with a deep focus on her son Joseph Smith and his creating the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and all that went into that. There's lots of cool stories in there. You got to check it out. But one of the coolest stories in there isn't even in regards to Joseph Smith Jr., but instead in regards to Joseph Smith Sr. And so you can see here in Joseph Smith Sr.'s recollection of a dream that Lucy Mack Smith shared, you'll find that the dream by Joseph Smith Sr. that happened in 1811 is almost identical to the Tree of Life vision had by Lehi and seen again by Nephi and interpreted by him in the Book of Mormon. And so the idea of a large field, broad roads, narrow path, a stream or river of water, a rod of iron versus a rope that runs along the bank, the rod of iron extended along the bank. It was exceedingly handsome or beautiful. It had fruit. The fruit was white as snow. They began to partake of the fruit. It was sweet or delicious. They beheld a spacious building. Talks about how it was filled with people and they were dressed with fine apparel. They pointed their fingers. It was a spacious building. And talks about how it was pride and compares it to Babylon. And so there is some recognition here that if we're going to make up an excuse, if we're going to allow apologists to do something, it would be to make the argument that Heavenly Father gave Joseph Smith Sr. and Lehi and Nephi the same dream, essentially. But what would be more rational? What would be a more logical way to think of it? Which conclusion would require less allowances and conjecture? That these two received the same dream from Heavenly Father, or that Joseph Smith just plagiarized his father's dream?